Subhanallah, I just remembered three more tribes. Three more tribes mentioned in the Quran. The tribe of Hud, the tribe of Saleh, and the tribe of Loot. And by the way, the tribe of Loot is really associated to the LGBTQ. So before I mention those tribes, I want to mention what is the event that happened. So there was an ice storm a couple of days ago now. It has been a while since Wednesday, and today is like Sunday. And an ice storm basically usually when the rain that comes down into different objects, especially branches or trees or cables or different that, and it changes to an ice. And when it becomes an ice, if it's kind of a weak branch or a weak tree, it breaks off and sometimes breaks and hits the cable, and the cables, electric cables, when they're hit or poles fall down, then we lose electricity for some time, usually several hours, and sometimes now it's taking several days. Until now we don't even have electricity. So the good news here is that it's the end of the winter. It's like the starting of the spring and the weather is quite nice. So the hit is not so hard. It's the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to introduce that ice storm at the end of the season, the winter season, and not at the beginning. Imagine it was hit at the beginning and we lose all this electricity. Mainly all our, appliances, everything we have in our households are driven by electricity. So imagine this happens at the beginning of the season, and then the temperature drops to minus 20, minus 25, minus 30. It happens, suddenly the temperature goes down. We have nothing, we have no electricity, we're not even prepared. Imagine what can happen to all of us. Imagine, they mentioned it like long time ago, it may happen, but I never experienced it. But this time I'm reflecting on it and I'm living it and I'm feeling it. I'm like, oh my God, plus by the way, I'm kind of, sick, and I'm being struggling with, this, symptoms of the flu with no electricity. Luckily with a quite good temperature, we're able to pass through it. Till now, we don't have that electricity. But my health is coming back. I'm able to sit and reflect on it and think and ponder upon the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which I sometimes feel it's a sign or a warning that you, no matter how civilized you are, no matter how technologically you are advanced in this world, you are still weak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He gave us a small hit, not even to the entire region, to part of the region, so people can really, go to other friends and stay in the electricity and the heat of other people. A small hit at the end of the season. Imagine it hits the entire region at the beginning of the season with a low temperature, like I said, the freezing temperature. Just reflect on it, how weak we are. And why I'm now mentioning all that and why I'm thinking about these three tribes, because it is the same behavior and the same reaction they gave to their prophets. Prophet, starts with Hud telling their tribes, yes, you're advanced, yes, you're so up there, but you have to follow the right path. You have to be in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your behavior, in your morals, in your ethics, in what's right and wrong. They challenged the prophets, like, what's gonna Allah do to us? What is going to do is we're so strong here. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had to kind of, there's no hope with those to prove them wrong. You're not strong. No matter how advanced you are, you're still limited in your power. Same thing, it happened with the Qawm of Saleh. Same thing, same message. It's just a repeating story, the same thing mentioning in the Quran that we have to reflect upon. No matter how advanced you are, you're still nothing compared to Allah. If Allah wants to punish you, if He wants to end you, He will do it. There's no issue. There's no problem with that with Him. But the worst, out of the worst tribes that really hit hard, and it was really hard, is the tribes of Loot, the tribes of the LGBTQ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you are the worst, not through the Prophet himself, the Loot. You are the worst, out of the worst. You reached to the levels that no other tribes have ever reached it. You went to the worst path ever you can think about. And they're stubborn in what they want to do. They're stubborn with all the signs that are given to them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had to punish them in a way that was really miserable and really hard. So when I was thinking about all that, where we are standing today, are we in the Loot or not yet there? I hope we're not there. We're not the tribe of Loot, right? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He decides, whenever He decides, there's no warning. He may give us a warning today as a sign of our weakness, but any time He wants, He will punish us. Whether it's because of the sins of the LGBTQ or other sins, it doesn't matter. We have to remember, number one, no matter how advanced you are weak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And never be arrogant and never be stubborn in following the path of what Allah wants us. And especially stay away from the worst out of the worst, the path that is unnatural, and I don't want to mention more about that. Okay, so right now in this beautiful weather, yes, we don't have electricity, but I got my health back. I'm so happy I can speak up again. I'm gonna say, guys, reflect. This is a great time to step away from all this technology, reflect on Allah, reflect on the power of Allah, reflect on the verses of the Quran, reflect on everything that connects you to your Lord. Okay, take care.